Here we go, folks. We're back with another post-match pint. We've just watched Celtic beat Kilmarnock 3-1 at Celtic Park and move 12 points clear at the top of the table. I'm joined by Kenny and Ryan. We're on the roof at Malone's, as always. Kenny, I think the last time you were on, we might have only been a couple of points clear, and here we are a few weeks later, 12 points clear. Went behind today but responded well, and a massive victory in the end.
Yeah, I mean, the last time I was on was the night before Rangers played Hearts, so maybe not having me on is a good omen for the channel. But I think in terms of today's performance, maybe not the scintillating performance we probably wanted a goal glut when they went down to 10 men.
Yeah.
But I don't think you can really understate the professionalism of that performance when you go a goal behind after 5 minutes, when you've been away in Denmark on Thursday night.
Yeah.
When you know that Rangers have dropped points and you have in essence got a chance to almost grasp the league title, what do? You apply enough pressure to turn the game round within 30 minutes. And I just think it illustrates what we've been talking about all season, just the desire and the resilience of the side. If you look at the contribution of the centre-backs to turn the game around, 2 assists and 1 goal from each of the 3 centre-backs, that just tells you how much they care. Their deepest lying defenders are busting a gut to try and get forward to get us out a hole to win the league. And okay, we didn't come away with a 6 or 7-1, which we perhaps could have won another day, but we dug out a crucial result which puts a hand on 9 in a row, and I'm delighted. Brilliant day.
Absolutely, Ryan. You don't expect, it's very rare that you go 1-0 behind so early on at Celtic Park, particularly in a league game, obviously. Brophy puts away the penalty, but I thought after that we responded really well. I thought the intensity, we pinned Kilmarnock back after the goal. I thought the intensity was really good.
I think when they get the penalty so early into the match, it gives them a wee bit of belief that maybe they can get something today. And I think maybe the first 10 to 15 minutes they were trying to apply a bit of press and trying to kind of move up the park, and probably did it to a certain level of effect. But when we started to turn the screw and move forward in anger and start to put a good bit of our stamp on the game, it was only ever going to go one way, and we never ever faltered from that point forward. It was a case of we never doubted the fact that we would come back and take the stranglehold of the game and see it out. Not the crowd, not the players, and it's just it's testament to how well we're playing at the moment. It's testament to how well that the players are performing, that the crowd are never wary that you go 1 goal down. We've got so much capacity to crank it up a notch and see the games out, and we did that so effectively today. You've touched on the 3 defenders. The 3 defenders are phenomenal. I thought Big Jozo in particular was fantastic today. So all round cracking performance.
I think it was just as we were going back to the centre circle after Kilmarnock scored that news of St Johnstone's equaliser spread around the stadium. And again, but when we're behind, you're only focusing on us. But there was a little bit of a row, and I was thinking, is that just like people trying to get the team up for responding here, or has it been a goal? And it was a goal. Kenny, you touched on, both of you actually have touched on the defenders. Jozo Simunovic, it seems he can only play 1 game a week at the minute. Obviously, we know he's had a bad injury history. I don't know if he's carrying any niggles, but he seems to be 1 in and 1 out. But I thought today he was very good, very aggressive. I thought he'd step in front of Brophy and Kambamba, and his role in the second goal was huge as well.
Yeah, I mean, nobody bullies Simunovic. I mean, he's got that legendary tackle against Kenny Miller, but that just shows you what he's like. Nobody messes about with him, and he was really eager today. His attitude was brilliant. He was getting, many times they would play the ball into the front men, he wouldn't even wait for them to receive it. He would reach it ahead of people and start attacks, and he's really dangerous in the box. He had a shocker for the penalty, I have to say. I mean, he put us in a bit of trouble there, but I think he gets Celtic Simunovic. He likes it here, and unfortunately his injury record and his fitness, you can't always get 40-50 games out of him, but when he's on it, he's at the level. There's no doubt he's at the level.
Yeah, domestically, Ryan, he's to have someone like that who's not first choice. We spent a lot of money on him, easy to forget. To have someone like that who can come in, and obviously it gives us that flexibility. We don't have a great deal of depth at centre half, but to have someone like that who doesn't play every week but can come in when we change the formation is huge.
Massive. And I think when you look at a back 3, having someone like Jozo who can nip in at that right hand side there of the 3, and so capable in what he does, and I think today we utilised him very well along with Frimpong on the right hand side. And I think that when we were looking for Forster to get the game moving again, Jozo was often the ball out and then running up that right hand side, and then how he gets that ball back in for the second. That header is cracking, by the way, and it cannot be discounted that the effort that he put in to
like
get in the position. Cracking leap, and he gets it back across into a dangerous area where Broadfoot scores an own goal. But
brilliant, by the way.
Amazing.
Love to see it. He was raging at the keeper as well.
Amazing.
Absolutely raging at the keeper. Christopher Ayer as well today, Kenny. I thought, obviously, he's came in for a little bit of stick here and there for his defensive displays recently. I think some rash challenges on Thursday, but got a great goal last week to win it at Pittodrie. And again, I thought it was a great finish today after Julian does really well to cut it back for him. And I thought he came out and really played a bit today. He was carrying the ball forward at times as well.
Yeah, I mean, we signed him as a central midfielder from Norway, which is easy to forget. He only cost £700,000. I think the criticism is unjust.
Still so young.
And still so young. He's going to go for big money. He's the best of our centre-backs at coming forward without doubt, probably because of his central midfield background, but people can't get near him, and just his movement and his size. He can kind of flounder a bit when he gets into the last third, but if he releases it before then, he helps you break down the lines, particularly in a game like that when it's 10 men behind the ball. And he's a good defender. I thought he was good, really good on Thursday night at times. He's brave. For me, he's a big attribute, and he's going to go for big money for Celtic.
I think he's sometimes rash though. He's very good.
It's a slight challenge,
it's a slight challenge, and then players often come away with that ball because he's maybe too high up the park, and he's left us open. So he is susceptible to one of them most games. Yeah. So in that sense, I think that he has been a little bit wear him, scare him at the start of the year there, and I think that yes, he's a cracking player. But I think there's a bit of development still in his game, and he is very young.
So young and plenty of time for that. We're actually missing some big players today. No Brown, obviously out with a calf injury. No Ncham or Forrest in the squad. Those are three players who have been absolutely integral, particularly since the turn of the year. When you think about the form in Ncham, Forrest always involved with brilliant numbers in terms of assists and goals, and Scott Brown is a leader. So missing those players today. In midfield we've seen McGregor, Christie and Vogic. That combination we've seen a few times last season, impressed a lot of people. I thought today they were very good as well. I thought Christie in particular, in terms of setting a tempo for us and setting the tone, I thought he was brilliant. He won a lot of second balls, he made a lot of interceptions, he was charging about the pitch, and I thought he was superb.
Christie is one of the players that tenacity is his middle name. Like, he just has that ability to. He's got so much bite, and he's willing to put himself about the park to get the ball back at any expense. He's got such a good engine on him, and his technical ability with the ball as well is fantastic. When you watch some of the link-up play, especially in the Griff's goal, the third goal, the link-up play with him and Edward, a few times this season has been really, really nice to see. And that link up where Edwards, the slide roll passed through him and then he cuts it back for Griff.
It's a great
fantastic
cross.
What a fantastic cross.
It's a great cross.
Right on the money. And Christie today, for me, I would have probably picked him man of the match.
I think he'd probably be my man of the match as well. Kenny, do you think Tom Rogic back in as well today? The starts have been rare for him this season. What did you think of him? And do you think, obviously, you would expect Ncham, I know Christie's suspended for Thursday night, you'd expect Ncham to come back into the team, but do you think Vogic is going to be at the forefront of Neil Lennon's mind for a start on Thursday?
I don't think he did himself that many favours today, Rogic. I mean, he's probably playing in an area whereby they congested it the most, so he was disadvantaged the most by their system.
Yeah.
I just looks like he's lacking that edge. I mean, he doesn't play at the same speed as the other players. He's a languid big guy, but we know that, and he's reliant on his feet and he's reliant on his quality.
Yeah.
Look, we can't discount him because he's a class act when he can be, but it's been quite a long time now since we've really felt, Rogic's he's a real diamond in the side. I think today he was a little bit off it, whether or not he was just a victim of their system and that allowed other players to play, possibly. But he's not quite at his level.
Yeah, Ryan, you'd expect Ncham will be back on Thursday, provided that he's fit, obviously.
If Ncham's fit, then Ncham's coming back into the side, especially with Christie being out. I think Christie's only one that for me that would really kind of challenge him to get back in there. But if Bruni's fit, then it's Bruni, McGregor, Ncham just in front.
I thought McGregor in place of Scott Brown was very good, particularly defensively today. Done a lot of good defensive work, Callum McGregor, and that's huge when we don't have Scott Brown in the team, because I feel like Scott Brown's qualities we don't have them in abundance in the team, and I think Callum McGregor replaced him really well today.
McGregor was an absolute standout today. He wore that armband with brilliance in my view. He adjusted his game, he sat a little bit deeper, he played with great discipline, he's spraying the ball around all over the place, and he's controlling the entire game. We say that, but it's not unusual for that. It's not a brilliant game for him, that's just his normal. I don't remember in my Celtic supporting lifetime a player with any greater football intelligence than Callum McGregor. Larsson had a different type of intelligence, but he is a central midfielder, has everything. Brendan Rodgers is talking about spending 25 million on him.
Aye, for what game?
He's going to have to put down a heck of a lot more than that to capture Callum McGregor. He can play in the English Premier League at its height tomorrow. He's that good, and he's going to be a future captain when Scott Brown steps down, probably at the end of next season. It's an obvious replacement for him if we can keep him.
Aye, it looks that way. What a player. Ryan, by my maths on the way here, we need 22 points. That's 7 wins and a draw, with 19 goals better off in terms of goal difference now, so 7 wins. It's nearly there, isn't it?
It is nearly there. I think until it's mathematically impossible, there's always that wee bit of wariness and just a bit of edge in it. So for me, the way we're playing at the minute is like we're running out of superlatives for how consistent the players are and how consistent the team are performing and how well we're coping with going behind and coming back, which we saw again today. And the ability of the team just to continue to ramp up and keep going at the level that we've been performing is phenomenal. However, again, that the nature of football, it can change. You just have to hope that we continue to do what we've been doing and send it home.
Aye, we've got to just keep the consistency up. I think obviously Neil Lennon deserves a lot of credit, Kenny.
Yeah, he does. I mean, we've already fallen out with Chris Ayer. We're probably going to fall out with Lennon again, but I was an advocate of Lennon at the point at which he was taken on board, and I didn't expect him to come up with statistics which exceeded Brendan Rodgers in his invincible season. That's what he's done.
That's lie though, right?
That's the harsh reality of it. In Europe as well, the lot. I mean, he deserves credit because when he was getting flack, when he was appointed by certain swathes of the support, they need to stand back and now give him credit.
Aye.
So, yeah, I couldn't handpick a better guy to have lead us to 10 in a row.
Aye, absolutely. I was one of those people who was unsure, but I'm taken aback by just how well we've done this season. The consistency is remarkable. I think that the thing that impresses me most about the difference in the team is how we play in Europe and how we play particularly away from home in Europe. I think the difference there is remarkable. But we spent the first half of this season, it seems like a long time ago now, the first half of the season, but we spent the first half of the season, and everybody did, talking about how this league campaign would be defined and decided by the derbies, that nobody was going to drop too many points outside of the derbies, and that's not the case. And we are going to win this title because our consistency is unrivaled in this league, and we beat everybody that's put in front of us, and the teams that are chasing us can't do that.
I think what you see is that when we talked at the start of the season that the rest of the league weren't up to much and weren't going to give us a challenge, I think all that we've seen since the beginning of 2020 is that the entire rest of the league isn't up to much.
Aye, 10 teams have been joined by another one. Just the other 11 teams are absolutely hopeless.
And long may that continue.
Kenny, on to Thursday, 1-1 all to play for. Do you think we're going to go 3-5-2?
It's not an obvious decision. On balance, I would. I think Forrest comes in and Brown come in. By all accounts, after the game, Lennon confirmed that was likely that they would both be fit.
Yeah.
So I think they have to come in. At whose expense? Rogic, I think, goes out for Brown. Probably unfair on him, but I think Frimpong would have to come out for Forrest, because you want to play the 3-5-2 because they don't look that good defensively. They're okay going forward, but they look vulnerable at the back. And Griffiths and Edward, again, were great today. You can't ignore that. You can't take Griffiths out that system and go with one up when you've got the option to play those two and really punish them at home. 3-5-2 for me with Forrest and Brown in.
Buying a full house at Celtic Park. Think we can do it.
Absolutely roll them on. It's time to get behind the boys and see this job done, because I think looking on reflection now, looking at how it went on Thursday, the intensity we brought in that first half, we can bring that intensity for 90 minutes at Parkhead with the roar behind the boys, and I think that we see this one over, we're into the last 16, a fantastic achievement for this season. We've done exceptionally well in Europe and we're really now kicking on in the league, so fantastic. Let's go and do the job on Thursday.
Absolutely, that's all we've got time for in the post-match pint today. We are 12 points clear and we're nearly there for 9 league titles in a row. Like the video, comment with your own thoughts on today's game below, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. We'll see you on Tuesday for the build-up to that second leg against Copenhagen. Thank you.